Hello everyone and welcome to Game 3 in a series between Evil Geniuses Puma and JYP here in the Xel'Naga Caverns. JYP spawning as the red Protoss, meanwhile EG Puma spawning as the blue Terran. Terran versus Protoss here in the Xel'Naga Caverns. And I am interested to see what Puma is going to be doing, especially on this map. This map, a rather small map, very vulnerable to the 1-1-1 build. But then again, JYP should be more than ready to handle this and perhaps fight back against the 1-1-1 build after dealing with it 2 times in a row. Now, we'll see what these strategies will be coming in from these players. JYP has been playing all right. He's let his macro slip a couple key instances, perhaps not having enough game sense, but then again, Puma has been playing very well. His timings, his execution, all of his strategies have been just spot on, dealing a lot of damage, and really we'll see what Puma tries to go for in this particular matchup. We should perhaps be seeing a barracks being built off over here. Puma is not building a barracks by his front door, and perhaps Zealots will be able to simply walk in. This may be a bit of a problem. Zealot and Stalker pressure, if JYP does try to go for an early Zealot and then simply walk up that ramp with some Stalker and a probe or two, may be able to get some early damage in, as Puma has not normally gone for a lot of Marines and Marauders early on. Puma now sitting on 14/19, JYP sitting over 15/19 as this game gets underway. And a probe now going to quickly scout out his opponent to figure out what he's going to do. We can see that JYP has a lot of ground to make up if he wants to get in and get back in this matchup. The probe just wandering around over here now. I like this play by Puma as the probe is getting a little bit of damage and was mineral pathing his way through. That was really nicely done, as we now see an upgrade to an orbital command and also the training of a Marine. The probe now coming back through the mineral line once more. It looks like it will be forced to leave in just a moment, as we see a second supply depot now being added, and it looks like a cybernetics core has been added. No Zealot being trained, as JYP opting to go for a fast assimilator once more. Fast assimilator means that we should perhaps be seeing a lot more units, a lot more tech coming in, perhaps getting in some gateways towards the end. You can see a lot of gas now being saved up by JYP, but he will be spending 100 of the gas on a Stalker and also getting that warp gate tech. A probe trying to walk up the ramp will not be able to do so, as there is a Marine on patrol in between those 2 locations. A Stalker will quickly come out of this location, out of this gateway here, and then attempt to shoot down this SCV. The SCV's days are pretty much numbered, but the Stalker not going to be able to catch up nearly as quickly, as that warp gate tech has once again been chrono boosted once more. You can now see that JYP opting to go for a faster robotics facility this time around, but unfortunately Puma opening up with a fast command center. So a fast command center meaning that there's going to be a lot more barracks play, and with this robotics facility, if he tries to go for fast Colossus, that may actually bode very well for him. A fast Colossus with extended thermal lance range can easily break a Marine Marauder line, especially as there's going to be a lot more Marines than Marauders, as you see a reactor now being put down by Puma. Proxy pylon already down over here, 1 bunker over here on the front door, SCV hiding down over here, and it looks like the Stalker is hunting for that one SCV. Not quite sure why. There's a proxy pylon here. Perhaps it will intercept and see if there was any sort of drop play coming. SCV now simply walking back up that ramp, double training more Marines, upgrading to an orbital command, as Puma is going to have a very significant economic lead. Observer is being queued up as well. You can see the SCV going to come in along the backside, 2 sentries down on the low ground, and a mortal is now being added. And will that SCV be able to make it into the base? That is the key question. SCV spots that there isn't a nexus, knows that he's going to have an economic advantage. Sentries now trying to make their way in. The SCV able to get inside, and now a new sentry being added as well, as the SCV just going to wander around through here and pretty much see everything he needs to see. There is already an observer making its way across the map. And now he sees that there is the standard front door bunker here. There is not going to be any sort of rush as the Observer catches all of these Marines, and now perhaps we will either see a robotics bay being added in order to try to get a stronger, or a stronger Colossi in, as well as this Observer now just watching Puma set up this expansion. Puma now with a significant economic advantage. He currently sitting on 26 Harvesters, but with 2 Mules, and already is upgraded to an Orbital Command. Will quickly have 3 Mules in just a moment, and very well defended. Army advantage definitely going to JYP in this situation. 625 gas versus 500 gas, but with so many Marines and bunkers being here, I don't imagine that Puma will get this line broken, the siege line broken, even if he doesn't have any siege tank. That Observer has to be very careful, though. It is parked off right there. You can kind of see a little bit of the flicker. If you're very careful, you can also like try to scroll in and down and spot a little bit more of that Observer, as the Observer now backing off there. Stalker is down over here. Sentries and Immortals. What is going to be happening? Force fields on the ramp, perhaps. There you go. There's a little bit of damage. The Immortal able to get off, or no, not get the destruction, only get a cancellation there, as the Immortal may try to come back around from the far side once more, perhaps getting in a bit more damage as well, but another Immortal needs to be added. We can see that Stalkers and Zealots are being added to this group, but no Robotics Bay, as the Immortal is now trying to push in. Able to get off some damage there, and now you can see that the bunker taking a beating, as the Guardian Shields are now up. No force fields onto and anywhere near those SCVs. And I think if Puma really wanted to, or sorry, if JYP really wanted to, he could just lay down a couple force fields, perhaps one on the ramp, and then here it goes. There is a scanner sweep, doesn't catch sight of the Observer there. One poor Marine taking a little bit more damage than he really wants to, and now that scanner sweep has come to an end. 2 Immortals, a lot of Stalkers, the Robotics Bay finally being built. But I think it's coming in a little bit late, as we should be seeing Vikings being trained in just a moment. There is that Guardian Shield. There's the Force Fields finally. Bunker 1 does get taken out. More Force Fields coming in. More Guardian Shields still being added. This may work out well. It looks like that Stalker is going to retreat. This one sentry does get destroyed. More Force Fields coming in, preventing and trapping more, but also losing some sentries in that engagement, as the Immortals needed to really be in the front of that engagement in order to push their way in and absorb a lot more damage. Perhaps Immortals with a movement speed upgrade would be able to benefit a little bit more. Immortals now just getting destroyed by those Marauders from focus fire, and now it looks like Puma has cleaned up this attack here, now finishing off some Zealots, and will be able to take down this proxy pylon as well. Puma sitting on 43 Harvesters compared to 46. More Marines now pushing into the center. It looks like this command center will be placed down here, as Puma looking to be in a very, very advantageous position. Puma has salvaged one of his bunkers, going to build it a little bit closer back home, as we now see a factory adding on a reactor, and we may be getting some Vikings or medevacs, but the Observer did spot this. Harvester count 48 compared to 47. Still a slight economic advantage by Puma at this stage, especially since he is not mining any gas off of this 4th geyser. He's going to be able to train up a lot more Marines with the additional minerals. Colossus now attempting to take down these rocks over here. We are going into another pylon here. I thought it could be a Dark Shrine for just a moment, as the extended thermal lance range finally being started. With one Colossus, a lot of damage may be dealt, but now a lot of Marines and Marauders are already pushing through the center, and we may be getting Vikings on the way. No, first getting 2 medevacs. Ghost Academy also being added. We're going to see 1 Colossus, 2 Colossi, a 3rd Colossi now being added as well. No Chrono Boost, Chrono Boost on the Robotics Bay, not on the Robotics Facility, so this 3rd Colossus will be stuck in this Robotics Facility for quite some time, as Puma now tries to take some of these, or take the Zelnaga Tower here. It looks like a poor Marine will easily get taken down, as the Marines and the Marauders are looking for perhaps a way to push out. Army much larger in terms of minerals by Puma. Meanwhile, a little bit better by gas by JYP, but as soon as this Colossus does come out, it should turn things around just a little bit more. Marines now attempting to take down these backdoor pylons here. and it looks like they may get cleaned up in just a moment as a Zealot tries to run away, unable to do so. Too many Marauders and Marines. One Colossus holding off over here. Are they going to be able to run? Is it going to be able to run away in time? And oh, too many Marauders. It did deal a little bit of damage to this Colossus, but not very much at all, as the Stalkers were able to warp in and finish it off. So a fourth Colossus now being added, but we do not have Blink research, and JYP with only 6 Stalkers going to have a little bit of an issue to trying to deal with those Vikings. So 2 Vikings, 3 Marauders, 3 Marines, and more units still being added. There is a drop line in wait ready to happen on the right side. Marauders now making their way up. Are they going to spot this proxy pylon? Yes, they already did. They're going to quickly destroy that, as Stalkers are now moving into the center portion of the map, and now a drop coming into play. Puma going to be in trouble, as 16 food of units already coming in. This observer will get taken down, but in come the Colossus. Colossus going to swipe across all of these Marines. Will the robotics facility get taken down? Yes, it does, but at a very heavy cost indeed, as some probes were now transferred from the main base back around, and it looks like a third base now established by Puma. More destructible rocks getting destroyed, as another base may be established off over here. It looks as though we are going into 3 starport play, so training up 3 Vikings at a time in order to catch up. We are rebuilding that robotics facility, getting up a new Nexus, and also going into the Twilight Council for Blink. JYP in a little bit of a better situation so far, but he still is behind. And now the Colossi are going to be able to get some damage onto these SCVs very easily. But in come the Vikings. Vikings with a range of 9, dealing a lot of damage to Stalkers, getting in position to try and intercept that damage. Too bad the Stalkers cannot shoot at those Lancer torpedoes as they're coming in to try to prevent any of that damage there. Stalkers now down on the low ground. Vikings are in position, trying to hunt for Colossus. Colossi are back over there. 1 poor Marine. The Stalkers getting the pushback here, as Puma now getting up to 163 food. The Marines and the Marauders are going to simply push in and take down that Nexus rather quickly. And JYP now behind on bases, as this planetary fortress is still able to mine away, giving an even stronger economic lead to Puma now. A Marine now making his way down over here, and this is going to be a problem. Puma unable to establish, or going to deny, JYP's third base still, as a Nexus does take 100 seconds to build. The Colossus have not really been able to deal all too much. You really need Psystorm in order to counter the Vikings, as the Stalkers are now going to come in. It looks like a round of Lancer torpedoes did hit one of those Colossi there, and now Marines and Marauders down over here. 1-1 upgrades. Blink about to be completed, as a Ghost may be able to come in with them EMP shockwaves. Oh, wow, a Ghost almost destroyed there, but a Stalker getting destroyed instead. And now in comes the scanner sweep. Puma now getting in position, 193 over 193. Sentries are in position as well. Perhaps we will be getting some force fields, as all of these Vikings are now ready, lying in wait to shoot down the Colossus. This is going to be very bad, as the Vikings going to be able to flank. 1 Colossus already down. Vikings now being forced to pull back there, but the Marines and the Marauders are pushing in, preventing the Colossi, and the Vikings are preventing the Colossi from engaging this fleet, or this squad of Vikings, just doing a great job, as EMP shockwaves are now pushing in, and now just the 9 and JYP on the constant run, as the Vikings are trying to hunt down those Colossus, and the Marines and the Marauders are still pushing in. Perhaps another EMP shockwave. No EMP shockwave. There's the only units with energy there. Vikings are going to finish off the Colossi, and I believe that will be GG. A well-timed attack by Puma. Vikings coming in to add insult to injury by landing in ground mode, finishing off the Stalkers. A new Colossus will never see the light of day, as the Marines and the Marauders are able to finish off the robotics facility, and there is the GG. JYP losing to Puma in 3 straight games. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.